In this video, we're going to unbox and install 16 gigabytes of RAM into my PC build. So let's get to it. Now, if you're not familiar with my channel, I built this PC from scratch and documented it on this channel. Now, currently, I have 8 gigabytes in there, so it's going to be quite an upgrade. Let me grab my trusty cutter here. And let's open up this box. Now I bought this from Newegg, and I got it for, I want to say, $118 shipped. So it's definitely not cheap, but I do a lot of video editing, and it's going to come in handy on my PC. So here we go. First thing in the box is just a little flyer from Newegg talking about Windows 8. And let's get rid of this packaging here. And here are the 2 boxes of RAM. There are 4 DIMMs in total, and each DIMM is 4 gigabytes. So as you can see on the box here, the RAM is made by Corsair. The current RAM I have on my computer is also Corsair. It's the XMS3 DDR3 RAM, and I believe this is 2000 megahertz, so it's pretty fast RAM here. Now, if you're curious to know what the actual model number is, the model number is CMX8GX3M2A2000C9. And if you want to dive deeper in here, it's 1.65 volts version 4.13. Now, I could have gone with 32 gigabytes of RAM, but I thought that was overkill. I thought 16 is perfect. Now, obviously, both of these are identical, but I do want to open up one just so you can see. And then, of course, I'll have to open up the other one when I install it in this video. But let's just get this open here. And it's pretty straightforward. For those of you who are familiar with building a PC, you know that RAM is probably the easiest thing to upgrade and install. But again, I'll do that at the end of this video just to show you. So this is what the RAM looks like here. Nothing too fancy. I know that RAM can get pretty fancy sometimes, but it does look nice. It's understated. Has your Corsair logo up here, and you have some metal grips here, so it's easier to pull it in and out. And of course there are 4 of these. There's 2 in each package. And then this is just a dummy. So let's install this on my PC build. Okay, so here's the PC build. And I just have to remove this panel here. Now, in case you guys don't remember, or if you're new to seeing this machine, I've got this giant Noctua cooler here. It takes up the majority of the space in here. And under this cooler is the RAM. Fortunately, I think I'm going to be able to get in there by just removing this one fan here. Hopefully I don't have to remove the entire cooler, so we'll see. Now, I will be doing some further upgrades on this machine. I actually recently bought a full-sized case for this computer, but that is for another day. We're trying to replace the RAM here, so if I can release this fan without too many problems here, then I should be able to access the RAM. And this here is a little tight fit for me here. Either needs smaller fingers or a bigger case, and a bigger case, as I said, is on the way. It's going to be hard to get that back on. Okay, there we go. Fan off, and it exposes 3 of the DIMMs down there, but I think I'll be able to get the 4th one without too much problems. Now, as I said, RAM is probably one of the easiest things to replace on a computer. So let me just tilt this in and show you here. You see 3 of the DIMMs there, and the 4th one is under this cooler. So in order to release these, you're going to find that you're going to have these little clips. So let's see if I can get in there and release the clips while still holding this camera here. So let's see. Okay, hopefully you'll be able to see it with me not holding the camera. So I'm just going to reach in here and pull this clip back. Actually, let me just release all these clips on the top first. You can hear them snapping back. There we go. So once you have these tabs pushed back up top, you should be able to pull out the RAM. So let's see what we got here. There we go. There's one DIMM. XMS3, DDR3, made by Corsair. Looks identical, so it's the same type of RAM, it's just a little bit faster and a higher capacity. These are actually 1600 megahertz. So I'm bumping this up by 400 megahertz and 8 gigs of RAM. So again, each of these old DIMMs are 2 gigabytes apiece. So let's get DIMM number 2 out. There we go. Put that safely to the side. DIMM number 3. There we go. And this one is the interesting one because it's under the cooler. But, yep, still able to get it out. That's good. That was my only worry. So here we go. Here's the new RAM. And, of course, all 4 DIMMs are identical. You always want to make sure that your RAM is identical in size and in speed. So we're going to start with the one that's under the cooler, and RAM only fits in one way because there's a little area there, a little divide between the pins, so that it's only going to fit in one way. So make sure it matches up and then snap it in place. You don't want to try and push it in, especially if you have it in the wrong way. Now this one was, I thought, going to be the difficult one, but I don't think it will be. I have everything lined up, and I'm just going to have to snap it in place. There we go. Let's put the second DIMM in. There we go, snapped into place. There we go. Nicely snapped into place. One last one to go. There we go. And we're all set. Now we just got to get the cooler fan in. Now, the good thing about replacing RAM is that you don't have to do anything with the operating system. Your operating system will automatically adjust to any upgrades in RAM. That's not always the case with other computer components. So that's one of the reasons that RAM is one of the easiest things to replace. Now, let's get this cooler fan in here. Latch it back on here. And this one is going to be the hard one, but hopefully not too difficult. Now, in case you're wondering, it just clips right on. Ah, wow, that was a lot easier than I thought. It was easier on than off. It clips right on to the radiators here. So everything's back in place. I just have to put the side panel back on. So I'm anxious to get this up and running again and try out my double capacity RAM, up to 16 gigabytes now. Now there's one thing that's very important when you're buying your RAM. You always want to consult your motherboard's documentation. You want to know what kind of RAM your motherboard will support, whether it's DDR3, DDR2, whatever it is. And you want to also know the speed that your motherboard will support. Not all motherboards support 2000 megahertz RAM. So you can save yourself a lot of headache and some money if you do a little research prior to purchasing your RAM. So that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And if you want to help out my channel, give me a thumbs up or favorite this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.